Hello and welcome to On Location Fort St. John. I'm your host with the most. The host makes you want to turn off the program whenever you see my dashing face. And speaking of dashing faces, we have Tyson Mowat, who is an artist and also a curator here in Fort St. John. How you doing, Tyson?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks.
Good, good. I am wearing a Razvan shirt, or a hoodie, excuse me. This is a clothing brand in Dawson Creek, and I wanted to wear it for you today because you're an artist and you have such a cool space that is full of artistic energy, and I just love that. How does it feel to be an artist here in this community?
A little frustrating, honestly. It's difficult to be an artist in the north just because there's limited opportunity to put together a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I opened this gallery, was to give people an opportunity to be in front of people's eyes a little bit easier than what we'd had in the past.
Right, right. And this gallery, obviously we can't see the full thing because we only have this setup looking this way, but this gallery is full of art on the wall, art that is so engaging and vibrant. That's a mix of both, traditional art, but also like a bit more of a surreal and non-traditional art as well. Is that important for you to kind of have both?
Absolutely. I don't want to be, the pretentious curator who says, "Oh no, you're only allowed to bring art that's met the approval of."
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think I'm more likely to host artwork that hasn't met anybody's approval.
Yeah.
It's important to have art that makes people think.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something that we run into is, it's kind of a variety. We make, movies and stuff like that, but it's, a variety of work. It's not just, I feel like traditional gets a bad flack sometimes. People are like, oh, it's traditional art and it has less value. I disagree. I think there's room for all types of art in terms of, surreal, vibrant, traditional, non-traditional. And I think that variety is sort of the spice, right? It's sort of the come one, come all in terms of, art, right? Because that's supposed to be an expression of ourselves. Do you feel like that's kind of the same?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that everybody has their own take on what they want to show off.
Yeah.
And it's important that people get the opportunity to see something different rather than the same old whatever they come to expect, whether it's landscapes or a flower or something. It's nice to be able to just frame a concept outside of somebody's expectations.
Right. Is that important for you to kind of expand that sort of consciousness around art?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've always been the out of left field kind of guy, and I really appreciate a weird idea.
Yeah, me too. I like the weird ideas.
Yes, it comes down to the execution. It's a good execution on a weird idea is obviously the best, but even a poor execution of a weird idea is better than something that doesn't really say anything.
Right, something that's just there for profit or just there for ego, You can tell when it doesn't have the heart in it. I don't watch a lot of surreal art house films, but David Lynch always spoke to me because his work was always so, it just felt like it came from a very honest place, And it came from a place that was like full of heart and stuff like that. Speaking about you, you're known in the community as Graphicsman. How does it feel to be Graphicsman?
The Graphicsman has evolved over the last 30 years of being out there. I sort of started out, expecting to put my own artwork into projects or whatever. And I've sort of adjusted my expectation to focus on other people's ideas and help them put a little polish on something that that might be a good idea, but they don't know how to execute.
Right.
So it's fun for me to help them finish.
Yeah, right. And kind of get that, because they had that spark of the idea, but it's, again, talking about that execution. It's almost like you're developing that execution for them. Do you think that's kind of accurate?
I like to consider myself more of a guide than, I'm not really one to take over somebody's project, but once they get to a point where I can see, you know, they need a helping hand to get to that finished stage, that's where I swoop in and save the day.
Graphicsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a theme song, I guess.
What would it go like? Dun, da, 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 Graphicsman.
You know, I've been playing around with the Creep by Radiohead. That would be
I think that's a
sort of my style.
That's sort of your style, is Radiohead. I think that works well for Graphicsman. I think that works well. And speaking of Graphicsman, that sounds like a superhero name. And talking about that, let's talk about the origins of Graphicsman in terms of how you got involved in arts.
Right, my origin story.
Your origin story. Hopefully you weren't bit by a radioactive spider. Hopefully it wasn't a traumatic.
There's nothing like that. No,
that's unfortunate.
No trauma involved there. I was encouraged all through school. You know, the teachers were very encouraging.
Yeah.
When I wanted to be the guy to put my artwork out there.
Yeah.
And I guess that was really my inspiration and what I evolved to with trying to help other people getting their ideas out.
100%.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but some of your family members were also in the arts. Your dad was in a band?
It's true, yeah. My dad, musically artistic, pretty crafty as well in his own right. And, you know, he never really made a big fuss out of it, but little projects that he'd work on just around the house as a fun weekend thing that sticks with a person, you know, even when they're not focusing on making it a project. You know, it wasn't always a father-son project. Hey, let's sit down and do this. But, you know, he would make a model of something, and, you know, I would pass by and stop and be interested, and he'd include me, and that's all it takes.
Right.
A lot of times.
And did that rub off on you?
I'm afraid so. It's it's easy to catch the bug of creativity.
Yeah.
My aunt spent lots of years doing murals and paintings in the region, and she was a big influence on my career choices.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, on my mom's side, her brother, my uncle, he ran a signs and T-shirt shop in the Okanagan area.
Yeah.
And sort of, you know, let me play along with what he had going on there when I come down to visit in the summer. And that was probably one of the formative occurrences in my younger life.
Yeah. Yeah, that really like inspired you to.
Yeah, being able to job shadow a little bit on something like that gives a young kid the opportunity to get a grip on possibilities.
Well, how old were you around that time?
Probably preteen, maybe 13.
Right, and that's, I think, I teach youth as well. I'm a substitute teacher. Don't tell anyone that, because I get bullied a lot by children. But I'm a substitute teacher. But I also teach filmmaking and stuff like that. And I find that introducing art at that age, you know, 12, 13, when they're just coming into adolescence, is such a powerful thing, because it gives them, they have all this, you know, angst, and they have all this, you know, stuff that they're going through, and it's such a powerful tool, regardless of whatever medium, you know, as an adolescent, to have an art form, right? You know,
as an outlet.
Yeah, as an outlet, 100%. Do you find that the case too?
Absolutely. And, you know, just to build on that, I would suggest that to let them choose.
Yes.
That's highly important.
Yes.
It really makes the difference as to whether they're going to stick with it or if they're just going to put up with it.
Yes, exactly, right? And it's sort of like, I've talked to a lot of people, and they said they hated school when they were in it, because they felt like it was forced on them and they didn't want to do homework. But outside of it, they love learning. Yeah, as adults, it's sort of like, not that school is bad by any means. It's incredibly important, but it's like when a student has to perform, or they have to almost follow a curriculum, they kind of just get bored with it, especially if they don't get it, right? But when you have like you said, like an art form or something that they're interested in, and they don't feel like it's forced upon them by some sort of authority, that kind of gives them that like, oh, this is really cool. I like this. I feel like my own person doing this.
Sure, if they discover it,
yes,
there's a whole different opportunity there than if it's thrust upon them as a chore.
Yeah, exactly. And did you discover your art form around that time when you were 13?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
About that time was when computers were just starting to be cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I started getting into digital creativity,
Yeah.
and learning the tools that were available at the time. Very rudimentary back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Go ahead and date myself that hard.
19XX.
In the 1900s. Back when they invented computers in the classroom.
That took up the entire classroom, the computers, the motherboard, the chips.
Yeah. So that was the direction that I started leaning in, and it ended up bringing me into a good career.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And so you went to Eastern Canada to study or for work?
Well, so I did the Northern Lights College program out of high school. And
was that in Dawson?
In Dawson Creek, yeah. The arts course there was actually, when I graduated, was in danger of being canceled.
Yeah.
So I used up my available credits and signed up for all the arts programs, just to step in and say, this is a needed program.
Yeah.
I actually ended up dropping out of the program before I got through it, just for the need to be out there producing rather than just learning.
Yeah.
Given the opportunity, it's a lot better to be able to just have a chance to go through the art program without having to rely on having an income.
Yeah.
Living life.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's more difficult now than it was.
Oh, 100%.
But I actually dipped out and went to New Brunswick. I was going to go to school at St. Francis Xavier University, where they offered a adult education degree, and that would give me the opportunity to be a teacher to people who were grown, or they would need instruction on more specific things. Yeah. Turns out that wasn't my cup of tea. I was more of a digital arts kind of guy than an instructor. So I fell back to that skill.
Yeah, you fell back to that skill. And so, you're in New Brunswick, and then you went back to the Peace region, is that correct?
Yep, the Peace region, the land of opportunity.
The land of opportunity.
I like to say.
Yeah.
I brought my would-be wife back with me, and we started a family here. And we started back in Dawson Creek. That was my hometown, and so I felt comfortable there. Yeah. Lots of friends to lean on for finding networking and just getting the job done. But then when opportunities brought us to Fort St. John, I spent probably the better part of a decade just being in the industry before I went out on my own again. Yeah. And what kind of brought you back to Dawson Creek, coming from New Brunswick? Was it just a familiarity of like, this is my hometown and I can start a family here, or was there something else in terms of the... Yeah, I mean, the opportunities really um, they're a driving force when you're in your 20s.
Mm-hmm.
You're focused on becoming self-sufficient, being
Yeah.
able to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the East doesn't offer, well, didn't offer as many opportunities
Yeah.
to a young person. Most of the work that I wanted to get into was taken by experienced people in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't really much room for a
Mm-hmm.
new kid on
Yep.
the block.
Yeah.
And then when those people were retiring, they would be phased out by the evolution of technology in the workplace.
Right.
A lot of positions that I would have been trying for are no longer even available.
Right. Right. Just because the advent of technology and the evolution of that, right?
It's all automated. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, you come back to Dawson, and then you guys eventually moved to Fort St. John. And you said it took about 10 years working in the industry before you became self-employed, or before?
Yeah. Being the new guy in a town, you lose a lot of ego when you show up and nobody knows who you are.
Yes.
So it's a lot of networking with meeting people in casual environments.
Yeah.
And just making friends and learning who the people are, the movers and shakers of your community, if you will.
Yeah.
And then once I was comfortable with the circle of friends and acquaintances that I had befriended when I moved here, that was when it seemed like it was a good opportunity for me to go out on my own and hang a shingle.
Yeah. And then get set up and you're ready to go.
Here I am.
Here you are. And where did you come up with the name Graphicsman? Was it just like, okay, this is a natural thing, this is what I do for a living? Or was it...
I believe that was a nickname that was given to me by probably even back in high school.
Yeah.
Just with, I'd spend my days drawing and mostly cartoons back then, doodles and whatnot. And when I started getting into the computer stuff, and everybody tends to describe computer art as graphics, and I was the guy, so
yeah.
But graphics guy doesn't really flow as well.
As graphics
guess.
man.
I don't know.
Yeah. I get called movie boy, so I think graphics.
Movie man.
Movie man.
Movie dude.
Movie dude. My crew calls me movie boy because that's all I talk about. To my face, I'm their boss, so that's how much respect I get from them. They're all nodding their heads in approval at being called movie boy. But so you get involved in the movers and shakers. What is I'm curious to know, because it always fascinates me, the process of not so much what the art means or really the result usually, but it's what I'm most fascinated about is the process of an artist and how they make things. For me, when I'm doing whatever I do, finger painting, I don't know, making movies, what I typically do is I follow a flow and I don't really structure things out. But I've talked to other artists who are writers or painters, and they have to structure it perfectly and then be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. What kind of artist are you in terms of that process?
I don't. Maybe this seems a little bit outside of the box, but I usually will be inspired by a shape or a color and build the art into it.
Oh, interesting.
Rather than coming up with the structure, what I'm expecting to build is I'm an opportunist, I guess, when it comes to pieces to start from, and I find something that is inspiring to build from and add into it. Maybe this cloud looks like a whale, and so I draw the fins into it to make it a whale.
Right. And that's interesting because it's almost like you're working with the limitations of whatever shape or color that you have. It's like, you know, they have that quote like art. Um, it's best when art has limitations because that gives you kind of a boundary, and it's not just, you know, limitless, but it kind of focuses you in. Is that kind of roughly the same?
It's different for everybody. I think for me,
Yeah.
I appreciate the 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 step up that I'm afforded with something that I can recognize
Yeah.
as a starting point.
Yeah.
Um, maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I don't want to start with the actual shape. I'll just take something that's
Yeah.
given to me.
Right.
But yeah, laziness a lot of times is the heart of invention.
Yes, it's an ingenuity, right?
Exactly.
Yes, it's ingenuity. And how do you, as someone who's self-employed, balance out the creative work? Like, how do you balance out, like, okay, well, I need to pay bills this month, versus like, you know, the enjoyment of your art, I guess I'm
Oh
saying.
yes. So how many greater working signs do I need to make
Yeah.
before I can make an actual canvas? Um, the the beauty of that is that I'm now well known enough for what I do
Yeah.
that I get to I get to enjoy working with a lot of different clients with different type of projects. So
Yeah.
there's the commercial projects that are point and shoot. Everybody knows exactly what they want. It's usually based on um, industry standards,
Yeah.
what they're looking for, and I just have to make sure their project conforms
Right.
to what they are needing.
Right.
But a lot of times I get uh, connected with people that they've got a concept,
Hmm.
but they need somebody to finish it. They
Right.
need something to actualize the how it's going to look in real life.
Right.
And I've been uh, blessed with the ability, I guess, to see people's visions
Yeah. Yeah.
in a way.
And like almost like they're communicating it to you verbally, I would imagine, and it's you visualizing that and then kind of
Yeah,
executing it. Yeah.
yeah, and of course, you know, the internet provides people with a lot of tools that they can build from,
Yeah.
and then you know they ask me to help them make it
Refine.
unique.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you were saying, you know, the process in which you're creating and you're working with clients. What do revisions look like? Do you get to a point with some people and some clients where it's like revision after revision after revision? Do you have some of that? Or
Sure, yeah. Sometimes there are clients that they're not really sure what they want,
Mhm.
but you know, by showing them a few different options,
Yeah,
they can tell me what they don't want,
yeah,
which narrows it down
yeah,
eventually.
yeah,
So yeah, in that way, that's just another couple of steps in the process,
yeah.
and it's something that I've accepted as this is how some people work.
Yes, yes. And that's sometimes they just don't know how to articulate what they want. And they also just they sometimes, and it's frustrating sometimes, but sometimes it's just how they work. They don't know what they want. They just need to go with trial by error, you know?
I think so. Yeah, I think that you know occasionally there will be somebody who, hey, let's see how this couch looks over here, and you go and put the couch over there, and
Mm.
then they're like, no, I liked it better where it was before. You know, and in the graphics industry, that's a lot easier to manage than
Mhm.
in the actual moving of couches. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's why I'm not moving furniture for a living.
Hey, it's good on your back just to be able to work in graphics and art. Um, and you also have such a tremendous space and place here, not just the gallery, but your creative space, you know, where you work and toil, so to speak.
Yeah, well, that just comes from experience. You know,
Yeah.
you get a feel for your work environment
Yeah.
and what speaks to you as a where you would expect to find your tools, or how big of a screen I need now that I'm in my 50s and I can't work on a little laptop screen anymore. So I've got to have a big display.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so a lot of people, like artists especially, would find this like a dream location and place, you know. Even just seeing a little bit of it as we came in, like it seems like you know exactly what you want your environment to be, but that's also like kind of there's like an energy to it and a solitude that's like really nice, you know. And it's kind of, do you find that that's really conductive to your art? Like, do you think you could make the same art if you were in like a residence or your own house, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if the environment might not play into it as much as you'd expect. The ideas happen, and it's just a matter of, you know, if you're going to be able to get out your paints or pencils or whatever you want to work with. I guess you have to be comfortable with getting your tools out.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
Just getting it ready and prepared and ready to go. Yeah. And, you know, obviously we talked a little bit about this and we touched on it. It was the evolution and changing of technologies when it relates to your field. Obviously, we've seen an explosion of AI and generative AI. How has that affected your business, and has that changed the way you work or anything like that?
Absolutely, yeah. It's, on one hand, having AI has available to everyone has saved me a lot of time. For the easy stuff that, you know, they don't have a difficult time describing what they want.
Right.
They can describe it to the computer.
Right.
And have it spit out exactly what they're hoping for. And we, a lot of times, we're able to use that with some minimal editing to correct any spelling errors that apparently computers can't spell, I guess. Whatever. Or they change numbers in things without being asked, and you have to make sure to catch that. And you know, put out the correct image. So in that way, it saves those steps of, well, I don't want this and I don't want that. No, here's this. The computer made kind of what I want, but can you spell my name right, or whatever? And so I don't mind that. But I've noticed that people in this community, at least, they are there's a disconnect between the audience and what the computer thinks they want to see. So there's a frustration, I think, right now that the people, if you will, can I call them the people?
Yes.
They see past the design and can tell when there hasn't really been that much put into the process. People are smarter than you think.
They are.
And they can recognize when it's been automatically generated versus a piece that's been toiled over by an actual person.
Right. They can almost you can't really just, like, as good as AI gets, at least for me, you can tell when it's AI generated. There's something about that, and I can't really articulate what it is.
Okay, well, let me do that for you.
Yes.
Is AI does have a standard style, but it is affected by the prompts.
Right.
If you want to get more descriptive with your prompts, then you have a better opportunity to get something more unique out of it. It's just like anything. If you put in the work, you get out a better result.
Right.
And right now, people are they're learning. It's a new tool, right?
Right.
AI is a tool, and so people can throw a quick idea at it, and it'll spit back something that's basically the same style as everything else that everybody's just, and they get back a quick thing.
Right.
We'll be seeing people learn that, by prompting the computer with specifics, or even sample, like suggested styles. You'll see the computer integrating those suggestions, and it'll become better.
Right. Sophisticated.
More sophisticated, yes, good word.
Yeah, yeah. And, I think artists as well, if you showed them, and I think, yeah, in general, people too, like people that don't normally create art, if you showed them a side-by-side of like art made by an artist and art made by AI, even if they're not aware like I am about that style difference, they can tell that difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they can tell.
Yeah,
they can really
there's
tell.
The uncanny valley,
yes,
where it doesn't quite look real.
Yeah.
I get you.
It really doesn't. Really doesn't. What's the art scene like in Fort St. John? Like, how does that kind of work? Like, I know there's, Stage North and obviously you, but like, what's the art scene like here in town?
It's fairly robust.
Yeah.
But, coming off the heels of the big pandemic of the 2020s, it's tough to get people out of their chairs and out into the community to see what the next big production.
Right.
I've found that the community is they really get behind the youth. There's the parents and aunts and uncles. They're all out. They come out for the school plays and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, there's a definite support for family oriented outings.
Right.
I'm trying to develop that a little more into extended family, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be your kid, but somebody's kid has their art on the wall.
Right.
And it's super good, and we'd really like to make the community aware of it.
Yeah, right. And do you think that dip in terms of attendance for art, especially coming off the COVID pandemic, do you think that could see a rise again? Has that started to rise in your mind, at least, or in your opinion?
No, it's kind of the struggle right now.
Yeah.
What do we? I don't want to say intimidate people into coming out, but inspire them.
Right.
Into being more social again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And when did you open up the gallery that we're sitting in right now?
This gallery space came about a year ago. Little over a year ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was a yoga studio before I took it over, and being right next door to my my studio space.
Yeah.
A lot of times there was a noise level with the activity. I mean, yoga you think is this quiet little serene thing, but they had this active noontime come in and
they were having a rave.
It was awesome, and everybody was having a good time, I think, because the music never got quieter. But when they eventually moved to a bigger space, I felt this would be a good opportunity for me to expand into the area from next door. And the gallery had always been sort of it's a labor of love. It's not anything that I had done any studies on or anything, but just to have known from being in the community that there was an opportunity to display more of a, I don't know, what do you call it, like a lowbrow kind of feel. artwork that's not necessarily by someone who's I say this, somebody who hasn't been through a bunch of school for art, but I've got lots of educated artists on the walls, which
it's a mix.
It's a mix. I don't exclude anybody for their education level.
It's almost like underrepresented art, or art that wouldn't be shown or put up in a gallery, so to speak. Is that kind of what it is?
I don't know. Maybe that's not quite accurate. I you know how when you do something and okay, so I do a lot of artwork, and somebody will come to me and they'll be like, oh well, I can't even draw a straight line. I kind of want that's a challenge for me, right? When they say I can't draw a straight line, usually my comeback is something like, oh good, because I also can't draw a straight line, and I've been feeling really anxious about that over the years. So it's good that we can connect on that level, because I think straight lines are overrated. And that I feel like that encourages people to maybe consider doing something creative like this. Just because straight lines have been too long the rule of, if you can't draw a straight line, then don't worry about getting into artwork. It's not for you. But maybe it is.
Right. You don't know.
You don't know.
Unless you try, right?
Exactly. And you know what? We've got workshops that we've been doing around here that we encourage people to come down and just try an evening. It's a low commitment, a couple hours on Friday or Saturday, where the instructor will take you through a process of putting paint onto a canvas and just getting comfortable with the process.
Right. And do you think there's a lot of opportunity for education in the arts up in the Peace region? Or do you
more and more all the time?
Yep.
With the Tumbler Ridge tragedy this past little while, there's been a new focus on finding resources for kids to make sure that they don't feel left behind.
Yes.
They're building more opportunities for people to do something. Something productive or explorative.
Right. And like we said before, it's an outlet, right?
Absolutely.
It's an outlet to, for feelings that you're, maybe not dealing with, or feelings that you're hesitant to confront. It's a way of developing that, no matter the medium. And you've worked in this industry for a number of years, decades, and besides technology, because that obviously is the first answer, but what have you noticed in terms of its evolution over the past few decades?
I mean, it's hard to exclude technology just because it's so integrated in everything. I mean, okay, sure, the computers developing, the ability, the new ones with, I've got a tablet screen that's actually a TV that you can sketch right onto where you're looking. That's leveled up from where it's been, 10 years ago. And that gives people an opportunity to be a little more hands-on, I guess, really, is with digital art. And I feel like that's just kind of the way we need to progress, is to give people make them see they can be comfortable with the tools.
Right. And not being intimidated by the technology or anything like that.
I have noticed, so far as trends, Pinterest was Pinterest in the 2015s to the 2020s. That was big for inspiring people to come up with neat ideas that they wanted to do. Unfortunately, now Pinterest is an AI generated monster. And you don't get as many real ideas, but there's still inspiration there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the new ideas come from.
Yeah, it really is, especially with places like this that are supporting that. Do you find going back to the art scene and the aftermath of COVID? How has it been with the gallery, the public response?
It's been pretty quiet, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I I've I've done as much um, uh, advertising, I guess, as
Mm.
a guy can do. Um, Nowadays, it's so there's been a revival of the newspaper that shut down.
Yeah.
So I've put an ad into the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a billboard at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Facebook posts every week about what's going on around here.
Yeah.
And still, on a weekly basis, I'll have a couple of people drop in. Oh, I never realized that you had this space here. Oh, okay. Well, that's really. I'd be curious to know what circles you travel in that you haven't seen anything that we've put out there so far. And so it's in that way, it's a learning curve.
Right.
For a guy like me that there's I I find it difficult to get into the living rooms of the people who would want to know about a space like this.
Right. And that's interesting because again, it's such an interesting space in the way you're advertising it. And is it just the amount of, we live in the information age where it's like with your phone, you have an entire world at your disposal, right? Is it just too much content?
I think you've hit the nail on the head with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can post once a week, and of course, that turns into one iota of people scrolling through their phones within that week. But I don't want to overwhelm by posting 3 or 4 times a day in hopes that somebody grabs on. What I can hope for is that the hive mind that is our community will communicate the efforts that we're making here. And when we come around to having an event, that hopefully it gets talked about.
Yeah. And I think word of mouth still to this day, even with the advent of social media and the information superhighway.
You're going to bring that back?
I'm going to bring that back.
Right.
I'm desperate to bring that back. I think it's so cool. It sounds way better than the internet. But I think word of mouth still like trumps all in terms of movies. When they open in a weekend, word of mouth can kill or make a movie, right? And I think word of mouth still to this day, even though again we have that influx of technology, I think word of mouth is still like a powerful thing.
Oh, absolutely. It's probably the most powerful means of communicating a reference or something. I can talk to I'm blue in the face about all the things that I have on the go here, but when Sandra goes home and says to her sister, "Hey, I just got this really neat T-shirt made, and it's exactly what I wanted, and it was kind of something that I got to work on myself." All of a sudden her sister's interested in doing something like that, whereas she probably wouldn't have cared at all if I called her up out of the blue and said, "Hi, I'm Tyson and I make T-shirts," and she'd be like, "Get out of my face."
Yeah, right? Then it's a sales pitch, right?
Yeah.
It's not happening organically.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And do you find that with the amount of art and the amount of artists in this community, and I guess the Peace region as a whole, who are some of your favorite artists that are local to this area that you really admire their work?
Okay, so I became a big fan of Selena Forbes.
Yeah.
She had a recent show at the Peace North Gallery.
Yeah.
And she had been waiting for about 2 years to get into that show. She had it scheduled on their books for as long as I had known her.
Really?
And so she was very happy that I was able to have this space available to show off some of her other pieces.
Right.
That I don't know, maybe you guys could grab some B-roll before you leave.
Yeah.
And check out some of the pieces that she's left with me here.
Yes.
Yeah, she brought by what I like to refer to as her fan art collection.
Yeah.
She does a series of characters that you'd know from movies or books or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's got this flavor to her art that makes the character seem like they're looking at you. They're interacting with you through the canvas.
Right.
And she's got that education behind her, so she knows how to treat light. She knows how to make the eyes follow you around the room.
I love that.
Yeah. So, but you know, as much as I love her educated pieces, you know, there are others that come in here and they have such a strong connection with color and form that just, you know, the energy bursts out of the canvas.
Yeah.
Or the model that they've, you know, the sculpture.
Yeah.
And it just really, it's artwork that speaks to you.
Yeah. Do you have any of your own work that speak to you in that way, or have that energy that you're talking about in your own personal work that you've made?
Yeah, I'm in a lull right now with my own artwork.
Yeah.
I've gotten comfortable in helping others with their pieces. So my foray into spreading paint onto things has sort of taken a little bit of a dip. I like working with bold colors.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I also appreciate that the adult in me appreciates a more diffused palette.
Right. So it's a bit more like subtle. Is that the word, or what is that?
I've been leaning toward softer colors in my older years, I guess. As I you know, when all the youthful energy of bold yellows and, you know, and bright greens, they definitely have a place. A lot of the guys in the racing and sports, they like those bold colors because of all the energy that they convey.
Yeah.
But to sit in a bright yellow room, that's very overwhelming, and I've experienced this. It makes a fellow very anxious.
Yeah. Or like it's overstimulating.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's like, is that like a way of almost keeping your audience in mind in terms of like the viewer or whoever's looking at the artwork? Is that trying to keep them in mind in terms of like the experience of looking at it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. I really feel like there's two schools of thought for this. Is when you're making art, are you making it for somebody else to appreciate? Which, you know, so that's a valid method of making artwork that you want somebody else to appreciate for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Or are you making the art to express yourself, so that your feelings are conveyed, for somebody else to interpret?
Yeah. Where do you think your art lies?
Right now, I'm probably in the camp of making something for somebody else.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just because I feel like there's a niche there. People need to have something that they want to express and may not have the comfort level to be able to do it themselves. So that's, I guess, where I can lend my experiences into building their idea into fruition.
Right. It's like collaborative or like empathetic art almost.
Yeah,
where you're like
that's
lending
a good one. I should write that down.
Yeah.
Empathetic art.
Also, if you write down information superhighway, I think you should use that term a bit more often.
I'll put that in my separate notes.
So do you typically have like a notebook on hand for ideas or things or phrases?
Yeah, I'm pretty old now in life, and so if I don't write things down, a lot of times I forget.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got my notebook, I've got my extra notebook, I've got my Google whatever computer that I can call out to, and it'll help me if I can't move my pen fast enough.
Right, right.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to make notes now, and I have to grab onto those opportunities as soon as they
pop in your head.
Yeah.
I can't remember who said it, but they talked about ideas in terms of art, and they're like, ideas are like fish, you know, and you try and catch one, and if you let that idea go and it vanishes, it's like the worst feeling in the world. And you're like, that was such a great idea, but I can't remember the specifics of it. Has that happened to you?
All the time.
Yeah.
So
that's why you have the notepad.
At 3 a.m. when you wake up and you've had this fever dream.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, that was so good. I gotta, and then at 10 o'clock in the morning, you're reading your notes and you're like,
what? It's like that Seinfeld episode when he wakes up and he writes down the funniest joke in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the dumbest thing ever.
Dumbest thing ever. But at the time, it clicked.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I've unfortunately found too many of those at the bottom of a bottle.
Where you think the idea is really
great.
It's
the perfect idea. Write this down. And then, yeah, the next day it seems like less of a...
What is this?
It's less finished than you think it was. So far as ideas go, this is maybe less of a concept and more of a jumping point.
I find that when I'm at the end of the bottle, I find that my subconscious is almost unlocked, and I'll have a great idea that I can formalize later when I'm okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's important.
Yeah, it's important to open up your subconscious too.
Yeah, something that's not connected to the internet.
Yeah.
It's just your own personal offline journal of ideas.
Yes, exactly. Being offline and making sure that you're all set and ready to go. Now, you've obviously had an extensive and prolific career that's so many different pieces that are just wonderful. Is there anything that you want to do? I know the gallery was something that you've wanted to do. Was there anything that you've wanted to do in your career or your artistic field that you haven't done that you want to do? Or is it like, I want to just kind of follow the journey and see where it takes me?
You know, I have regrets in life.
Yeah.
I often feel like I could have been a contender if I had followed through with, my comic book idea that I wanted to do, or animation, or all these different opportunities that I had to. I spent you know that phrase, you learn something new every day?
Yeah.
I made a New Year's resolution one year where I was going to make a point of learning something new every day.
And how'd that work out?
I was just exhausted by the end of the year. I learned 365 new things.
I mean...
And I was horrible at about 360 of them. But it's all about in how much effort you put into each of the tasks.
Right.
So I think that every day, that's a little bit aggressive so far, as giving yourself a fair shake at trying to get into something new.
Right.
But it's good to learn new things.
Right.
But you got to give yourself the opportunity to fully learn the new thing. You ever hear of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
No.
So somebody who maybe they don't know a lot about something, but they know enough to get started, and what they start out with is pretty good, but maybe not on a professional level, whatever. The more you learn about the new task, the less you feel that you know about it. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Oh,
So,
interesting. Interesting.
If you don't know anything about it, you grab onto the first little thing of what you want to learn about it, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm a savant. Look at how amazing I am, right? And so, but then after you dig in and you start learning about the process of what you want to build, then it turns into a what have I got? What have I got? It's the where you feel like you're imitating somebody who's
imposter syndrome.
The imposter syndrome. Yeah. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Is that I do enough. I know enough to know I don't know everything.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
It's like you've reached that self-awareness.
I think so.
Area.
Yeah.
Well, I would have to disagree with you on that. I think you're an incredible artist and a gem here in Fort St. John, and that's really what I wanted to talk to you because I really admire your work, and I think they're lucky to have you. So I really appreciate your time.
Oh.
And yeah, let's keep writing things down on our hands and make sure we
might as well. You got to put it somewhere.
It's not gonna go up here. This is my brain is already shot. It just has useless movie trivia. That's what they call me, Movie Boy.
Eventually,
yes,
you'll be consistently hooked up to the information superhighway.
I'll have the chip in my head or something.
Right in there.
Yeah.
And it'll automatically write itself down.
You said information superhighway.
I did.
It's catching on.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go home and it's gonna be stuck in my head now.
I'm so sorry. Again, thank you so much. This has been an absolute treat and a lovely space and truly quite a joy and a great chat.
Well, thank you. I really appreciated the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Tyson. All right, and that was it for On Location Fort St. John. Would you like to come on the program? Make sure you scan the QR code and fill out the form, and you too can come on the show and share your story as well. See, I screwed that up, and then I reversed it like a VCR
that
tape.
was a zip, zip, zip.
And you can come on and share your story as well. I've been Grady McTavish. Thank you again, Tyson, for coming on. Keep kind and love one another.